Hello dear students, welcome to Bosco Campus TV channel of Kottayam Don Bosco College. I am Raniyar, faculty member of PG Department of English. Today I am here with the paper Communicative Applications in English, which is the open course offered by BA English Language and Literature for semester 5 UG students. In the last class we discussed about the sound system and syllables. Today let's continue with word stress. Okay dear students, before starting the lesson, I would like to remind you one thing. At the end of this lecture, a question is provided. Do it as your homework and send me back through WhatsApp. Then only you will get attendance. Okay, now let's think about word stress. What do you mean by this word stress? So stress, that is prominence. Okay, so in word stress, in your pronunciation, if you are giving a certain emphasis or a certain degree of force which you attribute to certain syllables or certain sounds, in such case you are giving stress. So word stress is the degree of force which you attribute to certain syllable or sound. Okay, so stress is one of the important points in pronunciation. If you pronounce something with proper stress, your English will definitely improve. So for giving stress, you must be well aware of the syllable. So what do you mean by syllable? In the last class, we discussed about syllable. Okay, what do you mean by syllable? Syllable is the basic unit of pronunciation. So a syllable should definitely have a vowel sound with or without consonant sound. So syllable is the basic unit. So on the basis of the number of syllables, we can classify words into monosyllabic word, disyllabic word, polysyllabic word, etc. as we discussed in the last class. So for the word take, we have only one syllable, so that is a monosyllabic word. And for the word teacher, so for the word teacher, we have two syllables, so it is a disyllabic word. And for the word computer, how many syllables are there? Computer, 3 syllables. So it is a trisyllabic word. So in that way we have polysyllabic words like university, examinations. So on the basis of the number of syllables, we can classify words into monosyllabic, disyllabic and polysyllabic. This thing we had already discussed in the last class. So now in English we have a lot of rules to give stress. But unfortunately, this rule is not fulfilled for not obey all the English words. So there are some exceptions. Now let's think about or let's check what are the different stress rules. If a word has only one syllable, you don't need to think about stress mark. But for the disyllabic word or any other polysyllabic word, one of the syllables must be stressed. Stressed syllable must be a little bit higher, little bit longer and little bit louder. So in the pronunciation, stressed syllable must be a little bit louder when compared to other syllables. So in that way you can differentiate stressed syllable. And this stress mark, we have a stress mark. It is a symbol, look like an apostrophe, and it is placed immediately before the stressed syllable as shown here. So this is the stress mark. Now let's think about different stress rules. Now let's check some stress rules. So there are some rules in English for putting stress, but it doesn't cover everything. So let's check words with 2 syllables. So how to give stress to words with 2 syllables? The first case is the words with 2 syllables. If that word is a noun or adjective, usually the stress is on the first syllable. For example, as I shown in this slide, for example, the word happy. Second word is picture. Third word is doctor. So for these words, all these words has 2 syllables and the stress is on the first syllable. So happy, picture, doctor. Next case is if there are words with 2 syllables, that means disyllabic words. If the word is a verb, stress is on the second syllable. For example, decide, forget, explain, arrive. So all these are examples of verbs. So verbs with 2 syllables: decide, forget, explain, arrive. So for the word decide, so first syllable is D, second syllable is side. So the stress is on the second syllable, side. So stress is marked on the second syllable, that is decide. So for the word forget, stress is on the second syllable, get. For the word explain, stress is on the second syllable, that is plain. And for the word arrive, stress is on the second syllable, that is ride. So this is the first rule of giving stress for words with two syllables. But we have certain exceptions. For example, for the word hotel, we have stress on the second syllable, but that is a noun. And what is the rule? If the word is a noun and with two syllables, stress is on the first syllable. But here hotel is an exception for that. And for the word finish also, that is the word with two syllables, finish. But the stress is on the first syllable, and finish is a verb. Second rule is, in a three-syllabled word or trisyllabic word, stress can be at the beginning, middle or end. Okay. For example, the word anyone, beautiful. So for these two words, stress is on the first syllable, anyone, beautiful. And for the word computer and tomorrow, stress is on the second syllable, that is computer. So stress is on the second syllable, that is pew. And for the word tomorrow, stress is on the second syllable, that is more. So tomorrow, computer and tomorrow, stress is on the second syllable. Another word is afternoon. In the word afternoon, that is also a trisyllabic word. In that word, stress is on the last syllable, that is noon. Afternoon. Then employee. So stress is on the last syllable. Third rule is, verbs of two syllables beginning with the prefix dis are accented on the last syllable. For example, the words disguise, distress, disclose. So these are verbs with a prefix of dis, with a prefix of dis. In such words, the stress is on the last syllable, that is disguise. So stress is on the last syllable, which is the last syllable, guise. So disguise, distress, disclose. So verbs of two syllables beginning with the prefix dis are accented or are stressed on the last syllable. Another rule is, words ending in ion are stressing at last but one syllable. Okay, so words ends with ion are stressing at last but one syllable. For example, application, examination. So for this word application and examination, stress is on the last but one syllable. Another rule is, words ending in IOUS and EOUS are stressed on the last but one syllable. For example, mysterious, spontaneous, courageous. So stress is on the last but one syllable, mysterious, spontaneous, courageous. Another rule is, words ending in graph, graphy, meter and logi are stressed on the third syllable from the end. For example, the word psychology, paragraph, photograph, criminology. So here for these words, stress falls on the third syllable from the end, that is psychology, paragraph, photograph, criminology. Another rule is, in the case of compound word, that is words that are made up of two words and are written as one word, the stress is on the first element. For example, blacksmith, dining room, blackboard. So stress is on the first element. That is, for the word blacksmith, stress is on the black. And for the word dining room, stress on the first element, that is dining. For the word blackbird, stress is on the first element, that is black. And if the compound words ends with ever or self, stress is on the second element. For example, afternoon, however, himself. Okay, so for the word However, stress is on the second syllable, that is ever. Himself, stress is on the second element, that is self. However, himself, yourself, these are the examples of that. Next topic is sentence stress. So, like in word stress, in sentences also we have stress. But in sentences, stress is determined by the relative importance of words. So, we can classify the words in sentences into two major categories: form class words and function class words. Form class words are also known as content word. For example, nouns, pronouns, verbs, adjectives, all these are belonging to form class word. It should definitely have a meaning. So that is form class words, and function class words are grammatical words like articles, prepositions, conjunctions. So all these are function class words. So in sentences, form class words must be stressed and function class words do not possess any stress. So in that way we can give stress in the sentences. So that is sentence stress. Next topic we are discussing is intonation. Intonation is a suprasegmental feature. Then what do you mean by this suprasegmental feature? Suprasegmental features are additional speech features. Stress, rhythm, intonation, all these are examples of suprasegmental features. So in pronunciation, we have to follow this suprasegmental feature. Then only our English will be more clear. Okay, so intonation is the rate of variation in the pitch of our voice. That means, so when we are observing a person is speaking, he pronounces words or he pronounces sentences not alike all throughout his speech. So on the basis of the emotions or on the basis of the nature of sentence, he may change his pitch. So this variation in the pitch of the voice is called intonation. In English, we have two major intonation: rising intonation and falling intonation. And in addition to this rising and falling, we have fall-rise intonation and rise-fall intonation. Rising intonation means the pitch may be changed from lower position to higher position. That is a rising intonation. And falling intonation, pitch may be changed from the upper part to lower part. So it is falling intonation. And this intonation is marked by using a slanted line immediately before the sentence. So that is about intonation. Okay, dear students, I hope you understood various topics discussed today. Do this homework and send me back through WhatsApp. See you soon. Keep studying.